Hello and welcome to 4S Tech. Previously, we presented the top 5 laptops video, which you can check right up on this link. Now, out of those 5, I have the Lenovo IDEAPAD 330 that we will be reviewing today. So if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing down here and let's begin right with the intro. The IDEAPAD 330 that I have features a Kaby Lake i58250U with 8GB of dual channel RAM, 4GB of RAM hard soldered with 4GB of DIMM installed. For graphics, it has an Intel UHD 620 and a dedicated 530 AMD Radeon card with 2GB of video RAM, 15.6-inch Full HD TN LED, DVD rewriter, 1TB of conventional hard drive and a fingerprint login as few highlights. This unit costs $529. These prices may vary depending on hardware customization. Out of the box, the design is quite decent, perhaps minimalist. Although plastic, but the brushed metal look texture just feel premium. But it's highly prone to smudges both inside and out. It is less than an inch thin, weighing around 2.2 kg. Opening it up, the hinge is reasonable and can lean back up to 180 degrees. I don't really see the point of it though, unless you wish to use a touchscreen variant for maybe drawing, etc. The panel does wobble even on minor movements, and getting inside isn't easy for upgrades, with 11 screws around the whole chassis. Chiclet style full keyboard. It has a good key depth and key-to-key spacing, with media keys included on the top of the numpad. Now the Synaptic touchpad is big enough and placed at an appropriate location, not too close or far from the keyboard. Scrolling through most web pages and documents is convenient. The new multi-finger gestures takes a while to get used to, as you can't expect the precision of a MacBook on this device, but it does what it should. With gestures to show desktop, switch task and app carousel, it just works fine. However, the click noise is pretty noticeable. So the speakers are right under the front edge. The 2 stereo speakers with next to no bass, so I'd recommend getting a nice pair of headphones if you listen to music a lot, or maybe some external Bluetooth speakers. The 15.6-inch Full HD non-glossy TN panel isn't very bright, with 230 nits of brightness only. If you're outdoors, then this just won't work well, and you should be shifting to an area with slightly low light, keeping the brightness maxed. Even indoors, I kept the brightness not less than 50%. Viewing angles aren't so brilliant either. So if you're looking for good contrast, a bright screen for design, some light video editing, then this may not be the ideal pick, unless you connect an external monitor or max out the brightness. On top of the panel is a very average webcam, but has a switch to enable or disable, which is sensible. The IDEAPAD mentions the quick charging, which in my case isn't quick enough, giving a charge of around 15% in 15 minutes. And as a whole, the 30 Wh battery on full brightness will not get you anywhere more than 2 hours on light to medium usage. However, dimming it around 50% with power saver will give 3 to 3.5 hours of battery. Well, if Lenovo is listening, I would suggest improving battery in laptops which are intended for light to medium users, as they mainly require at least 5 to 7 hours of battery at work. Thermal management is done well. For day-to-day tasks, a CPU load around 15%, using Photoshop, web surfing, bit of YouTube and Word at the same time. The temperatures remain between 50 to 60 degrees Celsius and the fan remains quiet. Just the right side next to the touchpad where the temperature can really be felt a bit. Now 100% load on Cinebench CPU test, the temperature remained at 72 degrees. Now, these are the results from the Cinebench rankings. The multitasking remains swift in most cases, although the laptop does get considerably hot when playing games or rendering via video editing softwares. On Geekbench, IDEAPAD scored 4,133 on single core and 10,267 on multi-core. Now, OpenCL scores of the Intel UHD was 19,824 on Geekbench. The Radeon scored 23,771. About the graphics, this one has a 2GB AMD Radeon 530, which is fine for casual gamers. You can run games like GTA 5 and Far Cry 4 on normal settings with frame rates around 40 frames per second. Your favorite Fortnite on normal settings will give you 38 frames per second on average. On the day-to-day tasks, the laptop uses the Intel 620 UHD and automatic switchable graphic management works just fine. In addition to that, you can head over to switchable graphics settings for manual configuration. Another strong point is the selection of ports on the IDEAPAD. Now on the right side, we have the SD card reader, the headphone and microphone combo jack, a USB 3.1 port, DVD rewriter, and the Kensington lock. On the left, we have the USB Type-C port, which sadly doesn't charge the laptop, one USB 3.0 port, HDMI, Ethernet, the conventional VGA as well, and the DC connection. Besides ports, Lenovo has added APS, that's their active protection system, to lock the hard drive in case of an accidental fall. Overall, the Lenovo IDEAPAD V330 is a reasonable pick for its price point. The only point I would consider before buying it would firstly its conventional 5400 RPM hard drive, which is not letting the 8th gen processor and the 8GB of DDR4 RAM reach their top performance capacity. Secondly, the very average screen and battery. Now I know that I've mentioned battery and storage as key points to vary, but Lenovo has been thoughtful in a way. At the bottom, you can slide this switch and take the optical drive out. Here, you can place a 39 watt-hour battery to extend battery up to 7 hours, or I presume maybe add a compatible storage as well in future. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find any relevant add-on to this drive bay neither on Lenovo's official website nor on Amazon. So I hope they would update related information for these replacements soon if they really want the customers to feel more confident with their purchase. So if you wish to pick the V330, do consider having the SSD built in and the 39 watt-hour battery instead of the 30 watt-hour. So there we have the Lenovo IDEAPAD 330. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do share what you think of this laptop, and should you be buying it or not, put it down in comments. Links to buy the Lenovo 330 will be posted down below. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe right here. Till again, 4S Tech signing out.